Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. We are here because we want to learn algebra. Today is our day number 27. Here is the schedule that I'm following here. This is the tentative schedule. I may have to change something, but the first 20 days we learn how to evaluate algebraic expression. Right now we are learning how to add and subtract like terms. Let's take a look at the very first problem we have for today. We have 3a squared b plus 4a squared b squared minus 7a squared b squared and finally 5a squared b squared. Well, very first thing we notice is that all of these terms, these are called terms. It has 4 terms. This is the first term. What coefficient does this term have? This term has a coefficient of positive 3. Here is the second term with the coefficient of positive 4. Coefficient of positive 4. This term has a coefficient of positive 3. The third term has a coefficient of negative 7. And this is the fourth term with the coefficient of positive 5. These are called terms. And these 4 terms make up what is known as an expression. It's not an equation. An equation would have had an equal sign in it. We would have been told that this quantity equals something. We do not have an equal sign. It's not an equation. It's an expression. The second thing we notice is that all of these 4 terms contain the same variable with the same exponents. A squared plus b squared, a squared plus b squared, a squared plus b squared. Sorry, I didn't mean to say a squared. But a squared times b squared, a squared times b squared, a squared times b squared, and finally the last one also has a squared times b squared. They are all like terms. They all contain the same variable raised to the same power. So all we have to do is just add them up. That's all. Which is also very straightforward in this particular case. And you'll see in a second why. What do you notice? What do you notice? I noticed that we have a positive 3 and a positive 4. Positive 3 and positive 4 make positive 7. And then we got a negative 7. So these 3 terms cancel out. That's it. These 3 terms cancel out. The answer is this. That's it. That's your answer. The answer is this whole thing equals 5a squared b squared. That's it. Voila. That's all. That's all. Let's do one more. Next one. Seven a times b times c plus 9 a times b times c minus 3 a times b times c and 4 a times b times c. Again, we get lucky here. They are all like terms. Why are they like terms? Because they all contain the same variable raised to the same power. A times b times c, a times b times c, a times b times c, and a times b times c. Since all the terms contain like terms, all we have to do is here. All we have to do is to simply add up all the coefficient. Simply add up all the coefficients. Very straightforward, very simple task. So the coefficient of this first term here, this is your first term here, and since there is no sign in front of 7, it's a positive 7. Coefficient of first term is positive 7. Coefficient of the second term is which is right here, positive 9 ABC, which is positive 9. Here the coefficient is negative 3, and here the coefficient is positive 4. We just simply have to add them up, and that's our answer. That's however many a times b times c we have. That's however many a times b times c we have. So negative 3 and a positive 4 make a positive 1, and positive 1 and a positive 9 will make positive 10. So up to here is 10, and then plus 7 is 17. So it looks like answer is positive 17 a times b times c. That's your answer. Positive 17 a times b times c. And of course if it's positive, we don't actually have to write positive in front of it. It's just 17 a times b times c. That's it. That's all there is. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. a half x minus 2/3 x plus 4/3 x plus 1/3 x plus 3/2 x. I do not know why I take up so much room and I leave no room to write the answer. Well, there you go. So again, what do we notice? We notice that all of these terms have the same variable raised to the same power, x to the first power. Here's your x, here's your x, here's the x, and here's the x. They are all like terms. They are all like terms. In which case, all we have to do is simply add up the coefficient. I'm going to erase this circle. It's annoying. I find them annoying, so I'm going to erase them and rewrite them. It gets too crowded. Since they're all x's, we just have to add them up. We simply have to add them up. For example, well, not for example I meant, that's not what I meant to say. We have half, 2/3, 4/3, 1/3 and 2/2. Well, there are two ways you can go about adding this step. One is the traditional way, the conventional way. The conventional way, the geeky way, the nerdy way, the orthodox way, the proper way, the academic way, which is to find the common denominator, as most people will do, a common denominator of 6. You can do that. Conventional, by the way, means traditional. The word conventional has two meanings. One meaning of the word conventional is a gathering or a meeting, which most people know. And the second meaning of the word conventional is traditional. The word convention means tradition. And if you want to learn this word properly, along with some synonyms and some other good words, you can go to Keshwani Prep vocab-day 46, and you will learn this word. Just like you're watching right now algebra videos, I also have videos on geometry and I have videos on vocabulary. If you want to improve your vocabulary, which I see no reason why you wouldn't want to, particularly if you're preparing for, if you're planning to sit in the near future for the SAT or the GRE or GMAT or TOEFL, it is always a good idea to know the words, the kind of words that pop up, that appear very frequently on these exams. And not only that, but it's also a good idea just to learn the vocabulary for learning's sake, just to improve your English language. So if you're interested in watching the vocabulary videos, just type in Keshwani Prep vocab-day and whichever day that you want to watch. Anyway, so this is the traditional way, find the common denominator, which is the conventional way. I'm not going to do the geeky way. I'm lazy, I'm just going to find some quick way here. Let's take care of the thirds first. I'm going to take care of the thirds first, and then we'll worry about the halves. Let's take care of the thirds first. I see a negative 2/3, a positive 4/3, and a third. A negative 2/3, positive 4/3, and a third. Let's see what does it give you. Negative 2 plus 4 is the negative 2 and a positive 4 is positive 2. Positive 2 plus 1 is positive. Oh, there you go. It's just 3/3. Bloody hell. It's just 1. Oh, what do you know? It's just 1. Now let's take care of our halves. I see a 3/2 here and I see a 1/2 here. Well, a 3/2 and a 1/2 will equal 4/2, which is just 2. So these thirds add up to 1x, and half and 3/2 add up to 2x, so the answer is 3x. Answer is 3x, that's all. The answer here is 3x. I need the room because I need to do something else, so I'm going to have to erase this part, but I hope you understood. I had no way of knowing, well, that's what you know, before you try out the, oh boy, I can't finish my sentence, and the word that I'm about to say, I'm not even sure if I ever covered it. I don't think I would cover it because it's a strange kind of word. But since it's coming to my mind, we're going to learn it together, and I'm going to put it in my notes so that I can cover that word in my videos, in my vocabulary videos in the future. And it's not there, I have not covered it, and since we have not covered it, before I actually say it, I need to know the proper spelling of it, because I am very, very bad at spelling. The word is masochistic, for those of you who know the meaning of it. Masochistic. Oh, I found it. What do you know? By the time I get done writing everything with my digression, I'll probably forget how it came to my mind. Masochism, the noun for masochistic is masochism. Masochistic person is one who enjoys inflicting pain on herself or himself. There are some people who like who enjoy pain. It's a strange kind of word, as I told you before. That's what masochism means. People who like inflicting pain on themselves. How did the word come to my mind? Oh, I was going to say, before you go around adding this thing in the proper way, finding the common denominator, which I was about to refer to as a masochistic way. If you like suffering like this, then go ahead by all means, be my guest, and do it the masochistic way, which is the conventional way, finding the common denominator and doing it properly. But the lazy man's hours is that if you're given a whole bunch of half, and a whole bunch of 1/3, and a whole bunch of fifths, add up the fifths first, add up all the thirds first, add up all the halves first, before you worry about what the damn thing turns out to be. Who knows, you might get lucky. It might turn out to be something simple, like it did here. By the time I finish adding up all the thirds, it just turned out to be 3/3. Negative 2 plus a 4 is positive 2, positive 2 plus 1 is positive 3, it's just 3/3, which is 1, which means negative 2/3 plus a 4/3 plus a 1/3 is just 1. Similarly, a half and a 3/2 is just 2, so it's just 3x, that's all. This way I find it better. To me, doing it the traditional way is just akin to masochism, and I'm not masochistic, but not usually. Anyway, what I want to talk about next is this part. What does it mean? What does it mean to combine like terms in the context of this problem? In the context of this problem, we were told to combine like terms. That's what we're doing here, adding and subtracting like terms. Day 21 through 30. This is 27. What does it mean in the context of this problem when somebody says combine the like terms? Combine the like terms. What does it mean? It means, in English language, it means how many x's do you have? And turns out we have 3 x's. All of this bloody thing boils down to 3 x's. And I'm going to show it to you with a numerical example. For example, let's pretend that x is 12. Let's pretend that x is 12. I left no room. Okay, watch what happens. We're going to replace x with 12. Negative 2/3 x, positive 4/3 x, 1/3 x, and 3/2 x. So if someone says here in this problem, if someone says combine the like terms, right here, combine the like terms, what does it mean in this context? In this context it means just like this one. How many 12s do we have? How many 12s do we have? That's what it means. And since they are all 12s, we can just simply figure out how many there are. If one of them happened to be 10, then that 10 will stay by itself. We'll simply add up these 3 coefficients, a half, a negative 2/3, a 4/3, and a 1/3. These 4 coefficients, we would not add up, we would not worry about 3/2 because that's a 10, not a 12. But here they are all 12. And the answer is, if you do all of this out, it turns out that the answer is, this thing equals to 3 12s. The answer to this thing is 36. And I'm going to show it to you. Oh, I did not make a note of masochism. And I really do want to learn that word in the vocabulary videos, and I want to make a note of it before I forget it. I know these are kind of distractions, but this is how it goes. Masochism. A masochistic, another word comes to my mind right now out of the blue for no good reason at all. A masochistic person is somebody who likes to inflict pain on herself or himself. They enjoy having pain. Now what do you call a person? I'm digressing here big time. Digress means to go off topic, to change subject. Well, I've been digressing here for a long time, but now I'm digressing really. I'm trying to figure out which day I covered it. This is word digress. Day number 3. If you want to learn the word digress along with some other words like regress and progress and all that, you just type in Kashwani Prep -vocab -day 3 and you will learn the word. What do you call a person who lives purely for the enjoyment? This person, there's a word in the English language which means this person lives, does whatever he or she does purely for the sake of enjoyment. In other words, this particular person that I'm talking about does not worry about if there is something is in question here. Should we do it or should we not? This particular person would not ask himself or herself, should I do it? Is it a right thing to do it? Is it a moral thing to do it? Is it a proper thing to do? They would not ask any of those questions. They would simply say, well, is it enjoyable? Do I have fun doing it? As long as I have fun, I will do it. It doesn't matter whether it's moral or whether it's right or whether it's wrong. There is a word for it in the English language which means the person lives purely for the enjoyment. Just like this person enjoys being painful, this person enjoys inflicting pain on himself. Similarly, there is a word in English language which means a person who enjoys pleasure to such a point that they just live purely for enjoyment. And the word is, again I have to type it in to see how to spell it properly before I put it on the blackboard. The word is hedonist. Hedonist. These are all good words to know for any of this exam or just for the sake of knowing, as I said. The word is masochistic and hedonist. Those are antonyms. And there are no days next to them in the parentheses like you see here 46 and 3 because I have not covered them. I'm going to make a note of both of them, and in my next video, which I believe is day number 64 for the vocabulary, when I put together the next video, I'm going to cover these two words. These are fun words to know. They came out of nowhere, I don't know why. Anyway, so how many 12s do we have? The answer is we have 3 12s, and I'm going to show it to you. We're going to do it together and we're going to show that there are in fact 3 12s. I need the room, so I need to erase all of this thing here. I shouldn't have put this way up here. What can you do? Let's quickly do it out, okay? It better be, the answer better be 36. Half of 12 is 6, so that's a 6. 2/3 of 12, 3 cancels out with 12, 4. Negative 2 times 4 is 8. 4/3 of 12, 3 cancels out with 12, 4 times, 4 plus 4 is 16. A third of 12 would be a 4. And 3 halves of 12, 12 will cancel out with this thing 6 times, 6 plus 3 is 18. Keep your fingers crossed, we need 36 at the end. Positive 6 and negative 8 is negative 2. Negative 2, this is 20. This thing is 20 plus 18. 20 plus 18 is 38. 38 and a negative 2, 38 and a negative 2 and a 38. Wow, there you go, 36. It is 36. How many 12s do we have? The answer is 3 12s. We just showed it. It is in fact 36. This quantity, had x been 12, would have boiled down to 3 times x. But we do not know what x is. In algebra, we do not know. They are variables. In algebra is an algebra. We solve problem in abstract terms, which is why people sometimes find it intimidating because they have never met Mike, who is x-year-old, and they have never met Michael's brother, who is y-year-old. In real life, people are not x years and y years old. They have numbers. So in real life, we have concrete things to work with, something that we can feel and touch. Something we can feel, the numbers, that is, not necessarily touch, that is. Numbers are not tactile. Well, I don't want to go there. There's one more digression. Tactile. I'm gonna stop after this one because otherwise this will never end. I'm not sure if we have learned the word tactile or not. I doubt it very much. What does it mean, tactile? And for those of you, of course, who know these words, you might find it annoying for me to stop like this each time, but this is what I do. This is my forte. Oh my God, forte. I do know we covered forte. Tactile. I have to look up all the spelling because, as I told you before, I am no good at spelling. I'm putting it the way I think it should be. Oh, there you go. T-A-C-T-I-L-E, tactile. Tactile means something that you can feel and touch, something that is physical, something that is that has a physical nature to it, something that can be felt. There's another good synonym for it, which I cannot think of right now. Tactile. That's what it means. It's something that you can feel and touch. Even though numbers are not necessarily tactile, you cannot feel and touch them, but still when something is expressed in terms of numbers, people have easier time to understand it. If I tell you that Michael is 5-year-old and his brother is twice as old, well, you can immediately tell his brother is 10-year-old. But if I tell you Michael is X years old, how old is his brother? Well, his brother is 2X old. 2 times X years old. So that's what it is. Here we deal with abstract terms. We do not know X is not 12, X is just X. So when something is presented like this way, our job is to simply tell them how many X's do we have. The answer was 3X. That's it. I will cover the word tactile also in my next vocabulary videos along with hedonist and masochistic. Alright? I'll see you tomorrow on day number 28. In the meantime, if you wish to get hold of me, you can send me an email from any of these website addresses that you see there, or you can call me up with a toll-free number at my office, or you can go to kishwaniprep.com and get hold of me from there. Alright? Thank you.